Should you read Quicksilver by Callie Hart? My personal opinion as a reader and a lover of Romantasy, yes, it is my personal opinion that you should read this book. Hi. You may be on the fence as to whether or not you want to read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This is a very popular, very famous book that came out in 2024, and I'm here to try to convince you that you should give this one a shot. I'm giving myself less than 10 minutes because I don't think I need more than 10 minutes to say, you should read this book. Let's deal with the objections first, shall we? You may hear that this book is very similar to a lot of other Romantasy books out there. You might hear this one compared to ACOTAR quite frequently. You might also say that I've had enough of the Shadow Daddies. Can we get somebody else with a different power? We have a lot of very famous tropes that appear throughout the entire book. These are all valid objections. I do not back them though. I think that this book is different enough, the characters are different enough, the whole world is different enough to where, yes, we do see similarities with other works of fiction, but it is not identical. I don't think that if you have read or experienced any of these other books like ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, Fourth Wing, Twilight even, that doesn't take away anything from this book. You can draw similarities to any work of fiction that you ever encounter. There are going to be other books that are somewhat similar. You just can't avoid it. I'm also going to put this here so I don't have to hold it. As much as I love this book, I love the feel of it, I love the floppiness factor of it, I love the cover. The cover is pretty stunning, I must say. I'm a fan of the cover. Before we go any further, if you enjoy book-related content, if you enjoy book summaries or book reviews or just overall bookish discussions, don't forget to hit subscribe. I really appreciate your support. I'm so glad that you're here. I really love this channel. I love talking books, and I'm so glad to have you. So thank you very much. Without further ado, let's get started. If you don't know anything about this book, that's okay. You can go into this one blind. It is a Romantasy book that follows a character, a human character named Saris. She lives in a place that's pretty grungy, not good. She lives in a third ward, which is technically quarantine because the queen says that those people are all sickly and yeah, she wants nothing to do with that ward. Well, Saris gets caught stealing and she ends up stealing something from one of the guards, a gauntlet, and she knows that she can try to resell that item. Well, things get all messy. She ends up giving the bag that has the gauntlet to her brother Hayden. Her brother Hayden runs off and gets caught by the guards, so Saris has to go save his ass pretty much. And then in that whole ordeal where she's trying to exonerate her brother Hayden, she ends up getting arrested and taken to the Queen's palace where she has to await trial for her crimes, and the Queen sentences her to death. Now, in a moment of desperation, Saris is fighting for her life and she sees a lever in the corner of her eye, and she's very drawn to this lever. This lever is actually not a lever, it's actually a sword. Well, she's able to draw the sword, which she should technically not be able to do. There's a reason she's able to do this. It's kind of like a sword and stone type situation. She's not supposed to be able to draw the sword, but she does, and when she does that, it opens pretty much a portal, and then this is where she meets Kingfisher for the first time, who emerges from this pool of Quicksilver, which goes from realm to realm, the human realm into the Fae realm. Now she ends up in the Fae realm, and she has to understand what the Fae life is all about. She's thrown into the middle of a pretty significant war conflict that is going on in the Fae realm, and the story just takes off from there. Wonderful little romance, excellent banter between Saris and Kingfisher. I really like the story. I really like the characters. Yes, you're going to see a lot of tropes that you've seen before, and that's okay. Go in knowing that that's okay, and I'm going to expect that. And I think you're going to have a positive experience. You have likely heard book talkers, booktubers, bookstagrammers compare this book to a lot of other books, and that's okay. If you love ACOTAR, you're probably going to enjoy Quicksilver. If you are thinking about giving this book a try, make sure that you're okay with a healthy level of pretty serious spice. Let's just call it smut. There's some dirty scenes in there. Yes, there are. And there are some kinks in there. So yeah, if you're sensitive to that type of explicit content, may I suggest you consider your next read carefully. I thought the spice factor was fine. I was all for it. I thought it was very tastefully done, while also being pretty out there. Yeah. It's out there, but not disgustingly so. It's not so far out there that you're horrified by what you find in these pages, but I wouldn't call it clean either. You're not going to get that Emily Henry type of clean romance where the sexual encounters are present, but not like raunchy. And this is not raunchy. I think this is very tastefully done, but it is out there. I will say that. And the thing about the romantic aspect of this book is that, yes, it is moderately spice heavy, but that's not all this book is. We got 600 plus pages of plot, some good character development, a really fun magic system, some excellent banter. So it goes beyond just the sexual endeavors of these two characters. One thing that I really like about the main character, while she can be compared to other fictional characters, she is different enough that I thought it was refreshing. She's scrappy. She's got an attitude on her. She's got a reputation. This Saris chickie, yeah. I liked her. I thought she was a really cool girl. I supported her entire journey. I thought she did a good job in navigating these new worlds. So I really, really enjoyed the writing style as well. This is a book that is very easy to follow, but not to take away from the complexity of the plot, because there are complexities. There are challenges that this character has to overcome, and I thought it was very, very well done. The ending was excellent. I keep saying that Callie Hart did the Sanderlanche thing where the ending just blows up and it's wonderful. I really enjoyed it. For me, this was absolutely, without a doubt, this was a 5-star read. I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. I cannot wait for November because I will be at the Books A Million to pick up my copy on release day. Very excited. I know a lot of readers who have experienced and loved this book. I've also heard the flip side where we have some complainers about the characters being too similar. Okay, look, we've seen a lot of shadow daddies. I think that's what the term is called nowadays. The men who have the power to manipulate and control shadows as their magical gift. The first person that probably pops into mind is Xaden Riorson from the Empyrean series. Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, followed by Onyx Storm. Excellent series, by the way. I've enjoyed all 3 books. The powers are similar, and you might even hear the complaint that Kingfisher, the main dude in Quicksilver, is too similar to Xaden. I get it. I understand the comparison. I do not support it. I think the characters are different enough to where it didn't bother me. I don't feel like Callie Hart was recycling anything from Fourth Wing. They may be similar in appearance, but seriously, how creative can you get when it comes to an attractive man? You're going to get all the normal things. So yeah. You might also hear readers complain that this book contains a lot of very popular tropes. Yes, but I was okay with it. I thought it was completely fine. The tropes work for a reason. There is a huge audience for certain tropes. I don't want to go into the details of what tropes because some of them might surprise you. I went into this book not knowing that so many of these tropes were present, so I'm not going to spoil it for you, but just keep an open mind when you dive into this book. I actually had a really wonderful experience when I purchased this book. I saw it at Books A Million. It was in the employee pick shelf where they put their favorite books on the shelf and they put like a little blurb usually about what they liked about it, and they're trying to convince you in just a few sentences about reading the book. So I picked it up from there, and then when I went to check out, the cashier got so excited. She goes, "This is such an amazing book. I bought this book for my mom. The sequel is coming out in November," which, yay, very excited. Yes, I will be there in November of 2025. Yep, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens next between Kingfisher and Saris. And the next book is going to be called Brimstone. Very exciting. If you're curious about this book and you're not really willing to read it and you're not willing to put in the amount of hours that's required to listen to the audio version of this book, I do have a full summary on YouTube already on my channel. I will list a link below, so check it out if you want. So again, when you hear negative reviews of this book, take it with a grain of salt. Really take the time to understand what your preference is, and you make the determination for yourself. Is this a good book for me? Is this suitable to my reading preferences? Because if everything that I've said is yes to you, then you should take a risk on Quicksilver. I think that you will very much enjoy it. And if I have convinced you to read this book, I'm dropping the link below to where you can purchase yourself a copy on Amazon, whether that be hardback, paperback, ebook, whatever, audio. Get yourself a copy of this book. I hope that you're not disappointed because I was not. And if you've read this book, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts, regardless of whether you loved it or hated it. I would love to hear from you. If I have convinced you to read this book, I hope you also leave me a comment because that would make my day. And then report back, please. Let me know how it's going for you. Did you really enjoy the book? Did you enjoy the characters? Did you enjoy the overall writing style? Did you enjoy the plot? Tell me more. If you have stuck with me thus far, thank you so much. I hope that I've achieved something in this video, even if it was just generating an interest in picking up Quicksilver, which by the way is the Fae and Alchemy series. So again, this is just book 1. There are more coming. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.